Hey y'all, welcome back to Crime Time with Mal. My name is Mal. In case you are new and you've never seen me before, hi and welcome. Over here on my channel, we do missing people, unsolved cases, and I throw in some solved cases here and there. So if that's something you would be interested in, I would love to have you subscribe and join this positive, growing community I have over here. Y'all are amazing people, and if you are returning, you know me. Hi and welcome back. Thank you for your continued support. I love and appreciate y'all so very much. So today's video, if you don't know, I have covered the Gabby Petito case. This one is right here. If you want to go check it out and you have not seen it before, go ahead and check it out and then come back over here. But this would be, I guess, part 2. There's so much going on in this case, and I swear every day new information comes out. So there's that. I do think that something really big is going to happen. So let's just talk about it. And if you want to hear some of my thoughts and opinions, please stay to the end. I don't want to make this a super long intro, so let's just go ahead and start the video. So just to catch us up from where I ended last time, I believe it had already came out that her body was found. I said that it wasn't confirmed if it was, but it is confirmed now, and it is confirmed to be a homicide. So I don't think that surprises anybody that has watched this video or followed along with this case. And the autopsy report has not came back yet. It's still pending. And a search warrant also showed one of Gabby's last texts to her mother, and it said, can you call Stan? It said that all I keep getting is his voicemails and messages. Now, Stan is Gabby's grandpa, so I'm not quite sure about this situation, but this is one of the reasons why Gabby's mom does not believe that that was Gabby texting, because she doesn't refer to her grandfather as Stan. And there also was a hard drive found in the van that they're obviously going to search through. Now, I'm wondering if this has some of Gabby's footage that she was about to edit and put on YouTube. If so, there could be so much in there that people just edit out of their videos that never make it onto YouTube. So who knows what's on that external hard drive. Now, talking about that body cam footage during the domestic dispute, I don't know if it was one of the police or if it was the park ranger, but one of them, and I'll play it here.
We want to know the truth. We actually hit you. Because, you know, where did he hit you? Don't worry. Be honest. Did he slap your face or what? Yeah, way of taking my anxiety and bringing it down. But my ex-wife, I'm just sharing, I know it's a little personal, but to help you understand, we would feed off each other's anxiety and spiral. You know what I mean? And it doesn't matter how much I loved her. It may be bad for your soul. Just saying. I'm not telling you what to do with your life, but if you know you have anxiety, look at the situations you can get in. You know what I mean? And we're not here to be mean to you or anything. Well, you know, there's a first time and then it usually... We'll go see what Brian's saying, but I think you've heard everything now from...
Quick question, you said you were hitting him in the arm. Did you grab the steering wheel?
No, I didn't.
You did not touch the steering wheel?
And they also released that Gabby's phone was turned off for 15 days starting on September 1st. We all know that Brian arrived in Florida on September 1st. So also the van's license plates captured on an interstate entering Florida at 10:30 a.m. that September 1st. Brian's family's attorney was supposed to give a press conference on September 21st, but Monday night before that said that he was going to cancel it because he spoke to FBI agents and realized that it would be in the best interest of the family to not speak. I am confused where the heck Gabby's phone even is at this point. Like, who has Gabby's phone? Where is her dang phone? Now, they can access, I believe they can access it regardless of her phone, but it sure would be a lot easier if everybody just knew where her phone was, or FBI knew where her phone was. Brian and Gabby were sharing a phone. Brian had a phone, but from my understanding, it was only through Wi-Fi. It was no cell phone service. And that is one of the things they were arguing over when they got into that argument in the van or wherever they were at the restaurant. Brian's neighbors have came out and spoke, like the neighbors right across the street from Brian, and they said that they didn't really know the Laundries because they had just moved in this past summer, but they did notice that Brian and Gabby were working on the van right before their trip. They noticed that they left and they saw Brian come home that September 1st. So his neighbors have spotted him in his house September 1st. So they didn't see Gabby go in. They just assumed that she had already gone in, or they just, didn't know. They weren't paying that much attention to what was going on. That day, the next day, Brian was doing normal things, mowing the grass and just doing ordinary stuff, acting like nothing was wrong. And then that following weekend, about a week and a half later, Brian and his parents left in a camper, not the van, but a camper, and went away for the weekend. Now we're going to talk into some other witnesses that have came forward that saw Brian or Gabby. There's this lady that came in on Instagram that shared her story. Now I want to say that she got a lot of hate for sharing what she saw. She was very flustered, talking really fast, cussing and stuff. And I mean, I would be too if I realized what I saw. You know what I mean? She's from New Orleans. Her family's from New Orleans. They got affected by the hurricane. They had to leave. So she's had a lot going on in her life. And she said what she saw, that her and her husband realized what was going on. I'll just play it.
My French, but I'm freaking the fuck out. Matt and I just realized, because I'm a freaking dumbass and I did not put two and two together, that we not only saw like a blowout of a situation between Gabby Petito and Brian Laundrie in Wyoming when we were there. I'm freaking out. Yes, we have already talked to authorities. Like, how I did not put two and two together that this happened, I don't know. So I'm following this case. Matt's not. He's a guy. He has other shit going on. He could probably care less. I'm filling him in on this case a couple days ago, and I guess maybe he Googled it and saw a picture of Brian. Matt has an insane photographic memory. And so for 2 days now, he's like, I fucking know that guy Brian. I don't know how, but I know this guy Brian. I've seen him before. When Matt says that, anyway, we were in Wyoming. So Matt woke up this morning and he's freaking out. And he's like, oh my God, I know how he looks familiar. Nina, we saw them in Wyoming. They were the couple fighting at the restaurant. We were at this restaurant, you guys. Friday, August 27th, 1 p.m., sitting right next to them. They got kicked out of the restaurant and were fighting with the hostess. They were fighting with the hostess. She was hysterically crying. And she walked out and she was crying and she was staying on the sidewalk, and I was watching the whole thing unfold. And he walked back in the restaurant and he's fighting with the hostess, and I didn't know what happened. I don't even know if they got kicked out, but they left abruptly, and she was standing on the sidewalk crying, and he walked back in and was screaming at the hostess, and then walked back out, and then he walked back in 4 more times to talk to the manager and to tell the hostess off, and all right. I'm calming down and I'm going to try to speak more clearly. I don't even know if these videos are uploading or if they're uploading in order or if they make any sense. I'm just freaking out right now. I'm having an out of body experience. How I did not remember this situation, it just left my memory. We stayed in Wyoming for another 4 or 5 days for a wedding, and we just had an amazing trip, and I didn't think about the couple fighting in the restaurant.
I feel so bad for her because she got a flood of hate messages, and that is just not okay to me. I don't understand what makes somebody just go out of their way to send somebody a mean comment. Criticism, discussion, that's fine, but attacking somebody and who they are and threatening them, I will never understand. They said that she did it for clout and everything, and I don't know. It did get run through the FBI, obviously. She did call it in, and it was verified that this did happen at this restaurant. That restaurant is in Jackson Hole. So maybe that's why he freaked out that he didn't want to go to Jackson, and he got out of the car and hitched another ride. Well, that other ride was this other lady that came forward, Norma. Norma said that she saw Miranda's TikTok and realized, I picked up that guy too. Now, Norma lives in Wyoming. She's a snowbird. So during the hot months in Florida, she goes to Wyoming. And then during the cold months in Wyoming, she moves back to Florida. And on August 29th, around 5 p.m., she decided to go to this service at this church that she normally doesn't go to, but I felt the need to go there, which I think is crazy. Like, it's crazy what your intuition tells you to do. This church is about 1.2 miles away from Jackson Lake Dam, where Miranda dropped Brian off at. And Norma said that she picked Brian up around 6:10 to 6:20 around Pacific Creek Landing, and that's right outside of Jackson Dam, like right above Jackson Lake Dam. But as soon as Brian got into the car, he asked if she was going to Jackson Hole. She said, no, that's in the opposite way of where I'm going. He said, great, can you take me to Spread Creek Dispersed Campsite, where Gabby was found, and where that YouTube channel, Red, White, and Bethune, saw Gabby's van. This is about a 20-minute drive from where they were at, and just like Miranda, they made some small talk on the way. He also said he was hiking near Snake River and he had a fiance. She asked if he needed any money. He said no. And Brian then asked to be dropped off at that front gate at the Spread Creek Dispersed Campsite. Now, at the front, there's a long dirt road that goes to all the different campsites. She said, are you sure you don't want me to drive you through and drop you off at the campsite? And while they were driving, he freaked out, tried to get out of the car. Now, I want to speak about this theory going around. And y'all, it is just a theory. But this is a crazy theory. Like, I mean, wow. And I'm sure if y'all have been following along with this case, y'all have already heard about this theory, and I would be very interested to know what y'all think. And before I say anything, it's not like totally out of the picture. People do idolize books and movies and stuff like that, and like get obsessed with the character and try to recreate that character in real life. If y'all know what I'm talking about, there have been some serial people out there that have done this sort of thing. The book Lullaby. Brian is obsessed with this book. Now, this TikToker, MillieMae, she explains it all on her TikTok, and she goes into great detail. And y'all, honestly, after that Lori Vallow case, nothing surprises me anymore. I just need to say this. Please do not call in any of these theories or anything that people talk about on social media. If you see Brian, or you have seen Brian and Gabby, and you remember anything or their van, then please call in your tips to the FBI. They don't need to be wasting their time and resources and money on false allegations or theories or rumors. Okay, so this could all be coincidental, but in Brian's Instagram post, now before he even started, I guess, reading this book, he wasn't posting about it. So I assume he hadn't read it yet. Now, from what I understand, he loves this author, and I forgot who it is, and I'd probably butcher their name anyway, but he really likes a lot of his books. And he started posting normally, like his captions were normal, and then after he started reading this book, his captions were like very strange. So Lullaby is about a group of people, specifically a couple, Mona and Oyster. They travel across country in search of this book that if you read a rhyme in the book out loud, it will make you die. So they're trying to find this book to keep it out of sinister hands so people won't read it and pass away. Okay. They travel across country, Kansas, Missouri, Colorado, all places that Brian and Gabby have traveled. Oyster is a huge environmentalist. He does not like to wear shoes anywhere. He hates plastic containers.
We were going to get one because we ran out, but it's okay. No, it's all right. I don't like plastic bottles. Okay. Thank you, though.
And he despises humans. He thinks that they are an infestation to the planet. Also involved in quite a few domestic disputes. Now, I have not read this book, but MillieMae explains it pretty dang well, and she did read this book. And even at one point, Oyster is locked out of his vehicle and says that one of his greatest fears is to be locked out of his car and like be stranded and have nowhere to go.
My big fear is I don't have my phone. I don't have a phone, so if she goes off without me with a car, I'm on my own.
Also, Brian says that Gabby gets frustrated with him a lot because she has OCD and he's always walking in with dirty feet. So this is specifically something that Oyster said as well.
It was, I wouldn't even call it disagreement. It was just that I'm dirty and I can't change being dirty like I got dirty feet.
Miranda specifically said that Brian was clean, the TikToker that picked him up. She said that Brian was clean. He did not smell bad. The only thing that were dirty were his boots. I don't know if this means anything, but that's just really weird to me for somebody who has taken several pictures on Instagram hiking barefoot, going places barefoot, saying all the time that he won't go anywhere that can't be barefoot. And if he does have shoes on, you see him with flip-flops on. But when Miranda picks him up, his boots are dirty. Like, why? And Gabby posted this huge thing on Instagram about Brian's obsession with hiking barefoot. Like, the whole barefoot thing is just really weird to me. Now, I'm from the country and I go barefoot practically anywhere, but I don't know, y'all. Let me know down below if y'all understand what I'm trying to say here. I got some comments on my last video that said, well, Gabby said that she admitted she was the attacker. Manipulation and brainwashing at its finest. I'm sorry, I'm just gonna say it. He is so eerily calm and laughing in those videos while his fiance is literally hysterical. It hurts my heart to see that. And then in the end of the book, they both disappear and nobody knows where they went again. The FBI did return Brian's car to his parents' house. And I want to talk about this Carlton Reserve. Now, I have seen a ton of people say, and I even asked on my Instagram, if you're not following me over there, you should. But I asked over there if, like, what y'all think, okay? Do y'all think he is still in the Carlton Reserve? Or do you think he completely skipped Florida? Do you think he's in Mexico or wherever? Do you even think he's in the U.S.? So let me know down in the comments. People say that FBI and police are completely wasting their time and resources searching this reserve. And from what I understand, they did narrow their search down. Also, there are trail cams in this reserve. So it honestly makes me think that they are looking for some sort of evidence that they know is in there, or they saw Brian on these trail cams. I honestly, wholeheartedly do not think that these guys and women would be wasting all this time, these helicopters, drones, man hours, boats. I mean, they've got so much going into this search, and I do not think that they are that stupid to be searching something that wouldn't turn up any leads. And I could be wrong, but that is my opinion. Everybody's entitled to their own opinion. I think that the FBI knows a whole lot more than what we do. The cops, everybody. They are not, I say this all the time, but they are not going to give the public answers that we want right now because they are protecting the integrity of a case. They get one shot. That is it. If they screw up, there's a free man on the run, and he could do it again. You know what I mean? So they have to be so careful, and they can't go against his constitutional rights. There's so much involved. with that being said, they did put out a warrant for Brian. And again, a lot of people were upset that it wasn't more than what it is, but I think this is a very good thing. This is going to be, I believe, one of many charges that are going to come across Brian. Between August 30th and September 1st, Brian used a debit card and PIN number that he was not authorized to use for the transactions leading up to $1,000. Now, this $1,000 is a grand theft charge, which is a felony charge. Also, the debit card was used across state lines, which is also a federal charge. So that allows the FBI to continue to keep on working this case. And I'm not saying that police don't make mistakes. The FBI doesn't make mistakes, because everybody knows that they do. They're not perfect. They're human. Everybody makes mistakes. But I do think, for the most part, they are very smart and they know what they are doing. I noticed this, I think yesterday or the day before that, but a TikToker did post this, and I cannot remember who it was. I'm sorry, but it was not, I was not the only one that saw this. So once I heard Rose, Gabby's friend, best friend, speak to the Daily Mail about what I had mentioned in my previous video, I stalked her Instagram, as most of us do, and I saw this pretty bizarre post on August 31st. I'm curious, who's innocent, who she's talking about. Now, Gabby wasn't reported missing on this day, but she was missing this day. So, super odd. Y'all let me know if y'all have seen that, what you think. So y'all remember, please check your trail cams, your video footage. If you have any pictures, if y'all were in the Grand Teton area, Wyoming, Jackson Hole, Florida, and you saw anything, if you see Brian, obviously report it to the FBI. If you have any tips, call 1-800, call FBI. Appreciate y'all so much for watching my videos. Y'all seriously have no idea how much I appreciate y'all. If y'all been around for a while, my sweet baby kitty, Princess, was suffering from feline leukemia, and she had an autoimmune disease, and she ended up getting extremely bad, and we unfortunately had to send her over the Rainbow Bridge. And y'all, that was probably the hardest thing I have ever had to do. I'm gonna try super hard not to cry, because that's all I've been doing for the past 3 days. I can't even put her water bowl away or anything, because it breaks my heart and my house just feels empty. If you have pets, y'all know they're like your kids. So keep me and my daughter and my family in your thoughts. It was my daughter's cat, but I took care of her most of the time. She'll beg to differ, I promise. She's 13. She doesn't think anything I say is right. I appreciate all y'all's support. Again, if you like my channel, please give it a thumbs up. It helps support me and get my channel pushed out to YouTube. I have been doing true crime for now a little over a year. I cannot believe it's been a year. I've been doing, I'm sure y'all don't care, but I've been doing YouTube for 3 years, over 3 years. So join this beautiful family. Thank you so much. Again, how many times do I have to say thank you? Y'all, let me know your thoughts and opinions on this case. I would love to chat with y'all and get your feedback. There's only so many people I can talk to in my real life about true crime, so that's why I'm here. Y'all chat with me. Thank you again for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye, y'all.